Hello again, fiber friends. I'm ReRe, and this is Exploration Crochet, brought to you by the Yarn Over Hook Network. Today, we're packing up our project bags and setting out on one of the most joyful pilgrimages in the fiber world, the yarn crawl. The term crawl comes from the social tradition of the pub crawl. Groups of friends would visit several pubs in a single outing, sharing stories, laughter, and a drink. By the end, their pace might resemble more of a crawl than a stride, but that was the point. It wasn't about speed, it was about savoring the journey, the company, and the discoveries along the way. And that same spirit carries beautifully into our craft. A yarn crawl is a coordinated, time-boxed tour of local yarn shops. Part scavenger hunt, part road trip, part Fiberfest. Crafters travel from shop to shop with a printed or digital passport, collecting stamps and discovering fibers and shops they may have never seen before. Each stop adds its own twist. Unique stitch markers, demos, trunk shows, exclusive colorways or kits, and plenty of friendly chatter that turns strangers into friends. Plus, by collecting enough stamps, you can become eligible for prizes. At its heart, a yarn crawl is about connection. Proof that when we hit the road in search of color, texture, and creativity, we also find community. So, grab your hooks and passports. Today, we're heading on a yarn crawl. The first crawls appeared in the late 2000s, when independent yarn shops realized they could collaborate rather than compete. The goal? Encourage fiber artists to explore, discover new local yarn stores, LYSs, and strengthen local craft communities. And those pioneering events created the template still used today: passports, prizes, and the promise of fiber fellowship. One of the earliest examples is the Puget Sound LYS Tour in Washington State, celebrating its 20th anniversary next year in 2026. By 2009, the Chicago Yarn Crawl joined the scene, and by 2010, both the New York City Yarn Crawl and Portland's Rose City Yarn Crawl were up and running. The passport quickly became the heart of every crawl. While it's tricky to identify the very first, tours like Puget Sound and Rose City popularized full-color, stampable booklets with spaces for each shop visit and prize entry forms. Today, most crawls offer free downloadable passports or printed bundles tucked inside event totes. And every stamp increases your chance to win. Complete the full route, and you might score a grand prize worth several $100s. Additionally, each shop typically hosts its own special gifts or items too. So even if you don't go the distance, you're still in the running for goodies, free patterns, and other surprises. Yarn crawls can range from cozy neighborhood loops to multi-state adventures. Smaller events like the Sierra Nevada or Utah yarn crawls offer 8 or 10 stops, perfect for a weekend trip with friends. City crawls like Chicago, Greater Boston, or LA County average 10 to 20 shops. And then regional crawls, such as the Heartland Yarn Adventure, which crosses Michigan, Indiana, Ohio, and Kentucky, feature 50 to 80 shops. But no matter the size, every crawl shares one thing: that mixture of discovery, inspiration, and laughter that happens when yarn lovers gather IRL. After watching and participating in several yarn crawls across the country, I've noticed a few best practices. 1. Clear, simple rules. A map outlining the participating shops and information so everyone knows how to obtain a passport, how to get stamps, and how to enter drawings. Secondly, realistic geography along with flexible shop hours. That way crawlers can map out and cover several shops in a day. Thirdly, Engaging programming, demos, trunk shows, and event exclusive patterns or kits for crocheters as well as for knitters. Fourthly, a community component. Many include a charity component like a food drive or hat and blanket collections for nonprofits, and those are great touches. And finally, meaningful incentives. Tiered prize levels, shop raffles, and for crocheters in particular, commemorative stitch markers that we can use, not stitch markers intended solely for knitters. When all those elements align, a yarn crawl feels like a street party or a festival, a celebration of fiber, friendship, and creative discovery. So, where are these things happening, you may wonder? Unfortunately, there's no central registry, but event calendars like the one at yarnoverhook.com and LYS Networks list dozens of yarn crawls across the US each year. Here are a few examples. On the West Coast, you have Puget Sound, Rose City, Sierra Nevada, and LA County Yarn Crawl. In the Southwest, you have the Northern New Mexico Enchanted Yarn Crawl and the North Texas Yarn Crawl. There are also a couple of others in Texas. Mountain West, you have Wild and Woolly, Colorado, and the Utah Yarn Crawl. In the Midwest, you have Chicago Yarn Crawl, the Heartland Yarn Adventure, and the I-75 Crawl. And in the Northeast and on the East Coast, you have Greater Boston, Greater Philly, New York City, and the Orange Blossom Yarn Crawl in Florida. Most of these happen in spring or late summer through early fall, so it's perfect for new yarn launches and fair weather travel. And yarn crawls aren't just a US thing. In the UK, the Great British Yarn Crawl, currently known as the Yarn Stravaganza, runs a tour through a huge list of participating LYSs. In Ireland, there are many structured craft and fiber tours that visit various producers, mills, and workshops. Cities like Amsterdam, Paris, and Barcelona, with less formal passports and more curated shop to shop adventures. And in Canada, there is the Great Toronto Yarn Hop, which is a noted charitable crawl. Similarly, in South America, one can create a self-planned trek through numerous yarn districts. In Brazil and Colombia, in Uruguay, Montevideo is the home of major yarn companies. In Otavalo in Ecuador, they have a market there that is the oldest and largest in South America. And I visited yarn shops in Quito and I love the selection and the prices. In Santiago, Chile, they have several distinct areas for yarn shopping. Lima, Peru has the Miraflores neighborhood, which is known for its yarn shops. In Argentina, you have Patagonia, which is a major source of high quality wool. And of course, Buenos Aires, with its famed yarn district, perfect for a DIY crawl. The vibe is the same no matter where you go. Plan a path, discover fibers new to you, and make friends along the way. At its heart, yarn crawls are about connection. They remind us that in an age of online shopping, there is still something magical about walking into a yarn shop, squishing a skein, chatting with a fellow maker or an indie dyer, and supporting a local business that helps keep fiber arts thriving. Okay, so if you are convinced and are now thinking about your first yarn crawl, here are some pointers. Number 1, bring your passport, a pen to make notes about each shop, and wear comfy shoes. Number 2, get the map and map your route. Group the shops to maximize time. Number 3, research the shops so you know what makes a particular shop a special stop on the crawl. Number 4, take a peek at what you already have in your stash and set a budget. Or not, you're grown, do what you like. Number 5, pack a whip or two, some snacks, and some water. And finally, number 6, Grab a friend and share your journey. Use crawl hashtags, post on social media, share your conquests, and cheer on your fellow crawlers. Whether you visit 2 shops or 200, every yarn crawl is a celebration of curiosity and craft. So hydrate, check your local listings, grab your passport, and hit the road because the next skein of inspiration might be waiting for you at that yarn shop over the hill. And if you've already been on a yarn crawl, won't you share your adventure? I would love to hear about it. This has been ReRe. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Wait, before I go. I know I only touched briefly on the many different yarn crawls available. If you know of a crawl I missed, and I know I missed several, please send me the information. Also, Exploration Crochet, in conjunction with Yarn Over Hook, is putting together a colossal crochet yarn crawl for 2026. If you are the owner of a crochet-friendly yarn shop, or you know of one, please tell us about it. We have an early interest form set up and would love to start a partnership. I'll leave the link in the description. And now, I am ReRe. This has been Exploration Crochet, and thank you for listening.